In this episode, we're getting off our bikes and floating on a boat. A couple ferries, that is. After spending about 3 days in Juneau, we got back on the Matanuska and headed down the inland passage towards Prince Rupert. We spent about a total of 66 hours on the ferries and spent about $1,200 to go from Skagway all the way down to Port Hardy. We stopped in Prince Rupert and spent the night there waiting for the next ferry to come. The ferry schedules were kind of difficult to figure out, and that's one of the cons about the ferries, was that the scheduling was kind of weird and we ended up having to wait a few days to get on the ferries that would take us to the next port that we needed to get to. The good thing about the ferries was the food was good. It was a great way to relax and catch up with some of the other riders that we were sharing the boat with, and the ferry accommodations were very nice. On the Matanuska, you could lay down flat. There was like plenty of places just to lay down. However, once we got on the Northern Expedition, which was the ferry that went from Prince Rupert to Port Hardy, it was a really cool boat, but it didn't have the laydown areas. Once we got into Prince Rupert, we were going to camp the night, but we got in, it was dark, it was starting to rain, so we decided just to get into another hotel and make use of Wi-Fi and get some showers in before we had to get on the next ferry, which would take us from Prince Rupert to Port Hardy. I highly recommend taking the ferries. It was a beautiful way to just check out the inland passage. We got to rest and relax. I got to catch up on some of my editing for the videos. The views were spectacular. We saw some really neat old fishing towns, a few whale tails, and some beautiful sunsets. One of the coolest memories for me of being on the ferries was at the very end when all the bikes were loading up and getting ready to exit the ferry. We had all the passengers, the walk-on passengers next to us, and we had all the bikes lined up, and we all fired up about the same time as the door was dropping down. And it was pretty cool being a part of this group of bikers all bombing out of this ferry door.